Kevin drove 15 minutes out of his way every week to save $3 on gas. He'd spend an hour clipping digital coupons to save $5 on groceries. But when his coworker mentioned a $20 book that taught him a skill worth thousands, Kevin said he couldn't afford it. Kevin thought he was being smart with money. He was wrong, and that mistake was costing him everything. If you're ready to avoid Kevin's mistakes and understand what actually builds wealth, hit that subscribe button right now. Because Kevin's story might be your story too. Kevin earned $45,000 a year. Not broke, but not comfortable either. He lived paycheck to paycheck, convinced he was being responsible with money. But Kevin had confused being cheap with being frugal. And that confusion kept him trapped in a cycle he didn't even know he was in. 1. The mental accounting trap. Every morning, Kevin made coffee at home to save $4. He felt proud of this, but he never noticed the $75 streaming subscription he forgot he had, or the gym membership he paid for but never used. Kevin's brain treated small, visible expenses as critical while ignoring massive, invisible drains. One day, his manager mentioned a 30-minute online course that could help him get certified for a promotion worth $8,000 more per year. Kevin spent that 30 minutes instead searching for promo codes to save $5 on trash bags. This is what psychologists call decision fatigue. Kevin was burning his mental energy on trivial decisions, leaving nothing for the ones that actually mattered. 2. The opportunity cost nobody sees. Kevin's coworker James made the same salary, but seemed to be moving forward while Kevin stayed stuck. The difference? Opportunity cost. When Kevin spent 30 minutes driving for cheaper gas to save $3, James spent that time learning Excel skills from a YouTube course. When Kevin browsed for the cheapest shoes and bought a $40 pair that fell apart in 6 months, James bought a $120 pair that lasted 3 years. Kevin was optimizing for saving pennies. James was optimizing for earning dollars. Kevin saw a $100 professional development course and thought, I can't afford that. James saw the same course and thought, this could teach me something worth thousands. 1 year later, James got promoted. Kevin didn't. 3. The investment paradox. Here's what broke Kevin's heart. He was actually spending more money than James by being cheap. His budget mattress cost $200 but needed replacing every 2 years. James's $800 mattress would last 10 years. Over a decade, Kevin would spend $1,000. Plus, Kevin's poor sleep affected his work performance, his health, his energy, his entire earning potential. Kevin refused to invest in himself, yet he wasted money constantly. He wouldn't pay for a professional haircut before job interviews. He wouldn't buy quality work clothes. He wouldn't invest in his health. Then he wondered why opportunities passed him by. The scarcity mindset had convinced him that spending money on himself was wasteful, when actually, not investing in himself was the most expensive choice he could make. 4. The energy economics. Kevin's entire mental energy focused on scarcity. How to save on groceries. Which gas station was cheapest. Where to find free parking. Every day, he solved $3 problems. Meanwhile, James focused on abundance. How to add value at work. What skills could increase his income. How to network with decision makers. James solved $3,000 problems. Your brain delivers solutions proportional to the problems you give it. Kevin fed his brain scarcity, so it delivered scarcity back. He was trapped in a self-fulfilling prophecy. Focus on lack, feel lacking, make lacking decisions, stay lacking. 5. The invisible tax. Kevin's cheapness wasn't just costing him money. It cost him opportunities. He skipped the company networking dinner because it cost $20. The connections James made there led to his promotion. Kevin wouldn't invest in professional clothes because he didn't need them yet. But people notice. His appearance screamed, I don't invest in myself, so neither did anyone else. Every time Kevin said no to investing in himself, he said yes to staying exactly where he was. He was paying an invisible tax on his future, and that tax was far more expensive than any book, course, or opportunity he avoided. 6. The breaking point. One Tuesday, Kevin's car broke down. The repair cost $800 he didn't have. He'd saved $3 a week on gas for 2 years, about $300 total. But he'd avoided the $50 diagnostic check 6 months ago that would have caught the problem early when the repair would have cost $150. That night, something clicked. Kevin had been so focused on avoiding small expenses that he'd created a massive one. He'd been so cheap with minor investments that he'd guaranteed major costs. His scarcity mindset hadn't protected him. It had set him up to fail. 7. Kevin's transformation. Kevin started asking different questions. Not, how do I avoid this expense? But, what's the return on this investment? Not, can I afford this? But how can I afford this? What will this cost me if I don't invest? He bought the $20 book. It taught him a skill that got him freelance work worth $200 a month. He invested in a professional certification, $400 that felt terrifying to spend. 6 months later, it landed him a promotion worth $12,000 more per year. He stopped driving 15 minutes for cheaper gas and spent that time building skills. He stopped clipping coupons for an hour and spent that time on a side project. He stopped being cheap with his potential and started investing strategically. 2 years later, Kevin earned $68,000 a year. But more importantly, he'd broken the scarcity cycle. He learned that being cheap is expensive, that wealth isn't built by saving pennies, but by investing strategically in yourself. The old Kevin counted pennies and wondered why he stayed broke. The new Kevin invested in growth and built wealth. Same person, different mindset, completely different life. Kevin's story shows us that the most expensive thing you can do is stay exactly where you are. The mindset you choose today determines the bank account you have tomorrow. If Kevin's story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Your transformation might start right now.